All right, let's talk about remodeling. If you've ever even thought about redoing your kitchen or bathroom, you know that feeling, right? It can seem, well, pretty overwhelming. But what if I told you that for the pros, it's not chaos, it's actually a calm, predictable process? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how they do it.
So, what does a truly organized remodel actually look like? If you're picturing dust everywhere, endless delays, and surprise costs popping up, you are not alone. But that's just not how it has to be. A professional project is less like a tornado and a lot more like a well-oiled machine. And the secret? It really all comes down to having a plan.
And here it is. This is the hero of our story, the Standard Operating Procedure, or SOP. Just think of this as the master blueprint for the entire project. It's not some vague idea in a contractor's head, it's a documented, repeatable guide that makes sure everyone, you, the designer, the plumber, the electrician, is on the exact same page from start to finish.
So over the next few minutes, we're going to walk through this entire professional process. We've got it broken down into 6 really clear phases. We'll start with the mindset, then look at your first big decision, move into the detailed planning, get everything ready for the build, watch the transformation happen, and finally stick the landing. Okay, Section 1, remodeling without the headache. The biggest thing to get right off the bat is that a stress-free remodel has nothing to do with luck. It's all about having a system. That documented process, that SOP, is the foundation that turns what could be a chaotic mess into a controlled, predictable, and honestly, even an enjoyable experience.
That brings us to Section 2, choose your path. Right at the very beginning, you've got your first big choice to make. And this decision really determines who's in the driver's seat for your project's design. Are you going to hire one team to handle everything, or will you bring a totally finished plan to the table? Let's break that down. With Design Build, you're basically hiring a single firm to be your partner from the very first sketch to the final coat of paint. They manage the whole shebang. With Build Only, you or your independent designer are the creative directors. You hand over a complete set of plans, and the contractor's job is to build that vision perfectly.
And here's where you can see the real trade-offs. In a design-build project, the contractor owns the whole schedule and budget, which means you've got one single point of accountability. Super straightforward. If you go build-only, you get way more creative control up front, but you also share more of the risk if that design needs to change midstream. It really comes down to a balance between your time, your budget, and how hands-on you want to be.
Which brings us right into Section 3, from dream to blueprint. Now, this is arguably the most important phase of the entire project. Seriously, long before a single hammer swings, this is where the success of your project is decided. This is where your dream gets translated into an actual, buildable plan.
A pro's process here is super methodical. The first contact is really just a fit check, to make sure the project, timeline, and budget are all in the same ballpark. Then a virtual discovery call lets them dive deeper into what you really want. And finally, the on-site assessment is where they measure everything and look for any potential red flags hiding in your walls or plumbing.
Now, if you do go that design-build route, you'll probably pay a design fee. But just look at what you get for it. This is not just some vague sketch. You get professionally measured plans, a couple of different layout options, a style board so you can see it, and a realistic budget estimate. And here's the best part. That fee is almost always credited back to you when you sign the final construction contract. All of this detailed planning, it all funnels down to one beautiful document, a fixed price proposal. Because every single tile, every faucet, and every cabinet has been chosen and specified, there are no more question marks. The price is locked in. This right here is how you avoid those dreaded budget surprises halfway through the project. Okay, the contract is signed. Now we move into Section 4, preparing for construction. This is where the project pivots from being on paper to being in the physical world. It's all the behind-the-scenes work, ordering all the materials, pulling the permits, getting your home ready, that ensures the actual build phase runs like clockwork. A really key step here is the pre-construction huddle. This is where you meet the team that's going to be in your house every day, and you set the ground rules. You'll talk about everything, like what time they'll show up, where they should park, and, super important, how to keep your pets safe and happy. Getting aligned on these little details prevents so many simple misunderstandings down the road. A pro's commitment to your home is also crystal clear in how they prep the site. They don't just show up and start smashing things. Nope. They create a contained work zone with dust walls, they protect your floors, and they even use air scrubbers to keep the rest of your house clean. This isn't just them being nice, it's a professional standard of care.
All right, now for the really fun part. Section 5, the transformation begins. All that planning, all that prep, it all leads to this moment. This is the physical transformation of your space. It's where the vision finally starts becoming a reality and you can see progress every single day.
And construction follows a very logical sequence. It kicks off with demolition and the rough-in for all the new plumbing and electrical. Then comes the really critical prep work, like waterproofing. After that, all the beautiful finishes, cabinets, tile, countertops start going in. And finally, it all wraps up with a super detailed quality check.
Now, during this phase, things can get pretty busy. You've got different tradespeople on site, lots of moving parts. So what's the key to keeping it all straight? Well, this quote says it all. You should have one single point of contact, your project manager. They are the hub for all communication, making sure nothing ever gets lost in translation.
And that communication, it should be structured. A true pro is going to give you daily check-ins, a weekly summary with photos, and, this one is critical, they will never, ever proceed with extra work without your written approval on a change order. This is what protects you and your budget. No surprises.
The last cabinet is hung, the final coat of paint is dry, but the job's not over yet. Welcome to Section 6, Finishing Strong and Beyond. This final phase is all about making sure every last detail is absolutely perfect and setting you up for long-term success in your new space. So instead of leaving you with a messy folder of random papers, a pro will hand you a clean, digital closeout package. This is basically your new room's owner's manual. It has every little detail you might need in the future, from the exact paint color they used to the warranty info for your new dishwasher. It's an absolutely invaluable resource.
And the support keeps going. A great remodeler knows that houses settle and materials can shift with the seasons. They'll plan to come back after 30 days to handle any minor adjustments, and they'll often offer a one-year tune-up just to make sure everything is still performing perfectly. That right there is the mark of true craftsmanship and customer care.
So there you have it. That's the professional's roadmap to a successful remodel, from that very first phone call to the final tune-up. It's not magic, it's a process. The next time you talk to a remodeler, you'll know exactly what to look for and what to ask. Your project absolutely deserves this level of clarity, so what questions will you ask to make sure you get it?